Ebbers, where in the F do you want to go next?
Either France, Finland or Fiji.
3 chances. What are you hoping for?
I think there's a lot to discover in France still, but Fiji would be more fun.
Yeah! Fiji!
And I say fun and frivolous because I have no idea about that cuisine.
Hello everyone.
Or bula.
Bula!
Bula! Today, you are cooking up kokoda and vaca lava lava.
Which is incredible to say.
That is
so many vowels in that.
That's a great word.
Say that again.
Vaca lava lava.
Vaca lava lava.
And the one beginning with
Kokoda.
kokoda.
Heard of any of those?
Nope.
Great!
Right, all of the ingredients that you need are on the back.
What have we got there, Ebbers?
So what, coconut, lime, chili, tomatoes, onion, cilantro or coriander leaf, and cassava.
And
A
condensed
mountain
milk.
of them. Oh yeah, and this is, that's a bit of a red herring.
Talking of red herrings, there is one ingredient missing.
Close your eyes, boys.
Yeah.
Both.
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that's a fish. That is the biggest, I presume, red snapper
Yep.
that I
Kush,
have
Oh my
ever
gosh!
had the pleasure of handling.
Kush reckons that's the biggest and most expensive fish we've ever had in the studio.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that eye, though.
It's scary.
Okay, so red snapper, what are we doing with it?
Well, we're going to start with the dish called kokoda. And step 1,
Think ceviche.
That I am more familiar
So
with.
we're going to cure it.
Peruvian, so we're going to cure it in, I would imagine, all
Lime.
of this lime juice. That makes sense. So we actually just need a little bit of it.
Ebbers, what's your techers here?
Exactly the same as a trout.
What's your techers here?
It's a round fish, which means it's got 2 fillets, but essentially, I think you'd probably technically cut off some finnage, but I don't know if we've got scissors strong enough. So I'm going to cut around that issue and go head to tail. What's beautiful is it's already been scaled for us, because these are like contact lenses, the scales are so big.
Oh my goodness.
we have many different options for the fish that we could use, like different types of snapper and things like that, but we wanted it to be authentic. So that's why we've gone as big as we could possibly get hold of.
This is stunning.
Mike, have a guess how much Kush paid.
Well, guess how much we paid?
You signed it off.
I did sign it off.
60 quid?
Kilo, no, it's more than that because it weighs an absolute, you're paying per kilo.
100
There's lots
pounds?
of that.
It's about £110.
Well, the right person is handling it.
No, I'm not sure they are. We literally haven't got a knife that's going to do the job on this.
Kush, do you have a samurai sword? Ah, mate, there you go. Look, you're doing a great job.
Wow, look at that steak.
Have you ever worked with a fish this big before?
Not a snapper this big. Piece of tuna, bigger. Piece of cod, bigger. But nothing of this type.
So this is from the South Pacific, which is obviously where Fiji is.
Wow, this
Excellent
is
music.
so authentic, Ebbers. We're going to have to get this perfect.
Excellent musical as well. Right, so that's going to be ample for what we need for today. That's a huge amount of meat I missed there.
Oh, Ebbers, look at
Wow,
that.
that's a whole bloody fillet.
One huge fillet, like that, and then basically you flip it and do exactly the same.
For your snapper size,
Yep, the size of my snapper.
yeah, are we cubing this? Are we slicing this? What's your thinking?
Yeah, nice fine dice because we want it to cure in the acid in the time that we have today, I would imagine.
Usually with ceviche, you're working with very delicate fish. This seems a lot more meaty.
Well, only because of its size.
Yeah.
That was easy. In,
Yep,
and then we're going to lime it.
we'll do that. We'll
Wipe
get rid
down.
of all the raw fish, and then we'll think flavours.
Now you've snapped your snapper up, put that to a side, and it's time for your next hint.
Let's make coconut milk.
Or let's milk a coconut.
Corin did this, didn't he?
Yeah,
with
well,
us?
see, this is where ideally you want one of those really, really deadly
Spinners.
spinners. You do one, I'll do one.
So the technique, yeah. Round the circumference with the back of a knife.
There we go. Until the sound starts to change, and you know you're in. I'm in.
He's in. Decent. Whoop.
Whee!
Hello. It's Easter.
I've never seen that in my life.
So coconut milk I recently learned, is just pureed coconut pulp.
Not to be confused with coconut water, which is this delightful stuff.
Whilst you do that, do you want some Fiji facts? So over 300 islands make up Fiji, and 500 islets.
Islets?
Islets. Just over 100 of the islands are inhabited, and there is a total population of just under 1 million people.
So it turns out, we think that if you avocado a coconut, as much as it takes immense skill, it probably means the coconut is off. So we have discarded my Easter egg coconut, and we've used the good flesh from the good stuff.
Which we're now going to blend with just enough water to give us a coconut milk or cream, depending on how much water there is.
Whoa! Because of my mouldy coconut, we've actually added some shredded coconut in to make up for the missing coconut. So, you know, we're doing things correctly. How's that taste?
Milky.
Shredded coconut.
Next hint, create your marinade.
Marinade. So that's
So marinade, I'm going to interpret as the curing liquid, which means it needs lots of acid. So lime
Chilli
juice,
and lime.
chili.
okay.
Oh, he's gone straight with the coriander.
Now, what do we know about Fijian food? How is it on the levels of spice?
I don't know. That was a rhetorical question because you can't possibly expect an answer from me.
What I can tell you, Evers, is that the national sport of Fiji is rugby.
They are so good at
Excellent.
rugby as well.
Thanks for that.
Yep. And that Fiji gained independence from Great Britain in 1970.
So coconut milk, which we've made. I'm guessing if you're doing this at home, you could just open a tin. Some chili, one green, one red, lots of lime juice, some fresh coriander, and then a fair amount of salt.
Ebbers, alternatively, if you were making coconut milk traditionally in Fiji, you could use the husks from coconut trees to strain the coconut milk.
Oh, very limey. Oh yeah, and a nice warm heat, but not too spicy.
What you've got is the balance of fruity creaminess of coconut, salt, spice, and acid. And you put all those together around white fish, and I'm going to say leave it for an hour, and it's going to start to cure.
Whilst that marinades, shall we move on to dish number 2, the Vaka Lava Lava?
More fun ingredients. Does it involve cassava?
Right.
You like this one?
Your first step is to grate some cassava and a coconut.
Excellent.
I've done my bit.
You've asked us to grate this.
Yep.
We might need a bit of a clue of where this is going so we know to what degree.
If this helps, Vaka Lava Lava is a spin-off of Vaka Lolo.
Oh, well, they're brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Both the Vaka Lava Lava and the Vaka Lolo are made with cassava, which is known as tapioca in Fiji.
So basically, they're just being.
They're not really helping. But what I kind of like about this whole series is how much we learn about a place, not just the dish we're doing, but the context.
So I can give you a hint. This dish is also sometimes known as cassava cake.
So in that sense, we've now moved to like carrot cake territory, which we would normally bind with flour and eggs, but this is bound with cassava, which is going to do a similar job.
Your next step is create a batter.
So given we're talking about baking here, we probably need some ratios, right?
So it's 4-1-1. 4 cassava,
Which is your starchy bit,
1 coconut.
flavour and
Is that
some
about one?
sweetness.
I eyeballed that. Would you
as in
say
if-
that's a 1?
If that's 1, we'll just do 4 of the same.
And then 1 of something else.
So 4, 1, and just this?
Yeah.
1.
Fine.
Given you've got the coconut, let's start with that, and that can be our base 1. Make your 1 a bit bigger. Right, that's close enough to 1. 1 of those,
That's a good one.
4 of these.
Oh.
Do you know what? I have no interest today in changing the kind of traditional stuff we're doing, but I already am excited for this, and thinking through my head, a zest of lime in this, I'm sure would also be lovely. Not traditional, we won't do it, but I feel like that would be lovely.
Well, this is where this series kind of comes into its own, isn't it? Because it's kind of taking the traditions and the dishes from countries around the world and mixing it with
Our attempts.
chefy knowledge. And how would you usually cook something?
Sticker butter.
I've put a tiny pinch of salt into this, not to make it savoury with all of that condensed milk, but just as a seasoning. So many sweet things benefit from a pinch of salt.
I mean, I know it's traditional, but it's also proper on trend. A 3-ingredient cake.
Yeah.
Quite excited for this. What, 180 Ebbers?
A classic cake temperature, enough to get a little bit of colour on it and to cook through. 180 sounds good. And when it's that thin, I don't know, 15 minutes we'll check it, might need 20, 25.
Whilst that's cooking, get started with your kokoda.
I'm about to say something that's possibly treading a tightrope. Are we going to serve this in the coconut shells, or is that hugely insensitive?
I've absolutely seen it.
I'm just assuming, but then...
I've seen an awful lot of using the whole of the coconut tree. So that's from the leaves, the palm, the bark, the nut, the shell, the cream, the milk, the shredded. You kind of make use of the whole thing, and what's left you were properly allowed to ferment and turn into alcohol. I feel like the coconut tree is celebrated. It's why I boiled a kettle and put them over our coconut shells that were rotten just to kill anything that's bad. But now we can use them.
Do you want to know your next step? Construct in a coconut.
Okay, good.
Everything Ben said is right, because coconuts are such a Fijian staple. They're not only used for food, but the husks are also used for roofing and for furniture. Like, everything goes everywhere.
So how many of these, do you want to use 2 for serving and then 2 for your bra?
Two of those to serve and 2 of those to make clippy-clop horse noises.
Great.
And we'll just give them a proper wipe out and dry. I've got a question, which you might not know off the top of your head, but you probably have access to the interwebs. What's the population of Fiji? Because, I asked the question because how many community members do we have there, and how many people helped to make these suggestions in terms of what we're cooking today?
The population is just under 1 million. It's about 940,000. Most of whom live on Viti Levu, which is the biggest of the islands. There's about 186,000 people that live in the capital city.
So here's a controversial thing.
Oh.
Despite the fact that obviously cuisines all over the world combine coconut and lime, I find it an odd concept because we're so used to dairy not liking acid. And it's the reason that you like a pina colada with pineapple acid and coconut milk. I just, even the thought of it.
You expect it to curdle, don't you? And
obviously it's not the same milk and it's not the same sort of proteins that do that. But I always find it an odd concept.
Can I do anything, or are you keeping me at arm's length?
At arm's length, perhaps you can pick some nice leaves.
So I've had a look, and in the last 28 days, we've had 786 views from Fiji.
Now, do we think that's one absolute hero of a person?
Or are we like the Beatles of Fiji?
We could be.
We're not the Beatles of anywhere.
So I've made a little chopped thing with the ingredients we were given. Cucumber, tomato, chilli, 2 types of onion, spring and red. I think that can be the base of our ceviche.
Have you put anything in that, like any oil or anything? Or
a little drizzle of oil, salt and pepper.
Lovely. How are we layering this with the fish?
The way this video works is at the end they're going to show us a photo that we're supposed to have predicted. I think there are probably 1,000 ways to make this up.
Great.
We either put all of this on here, sit those on top and fill those with the fish.
Yeah.
Or probably more likely put some of this in the base here so that when all of this lovely dressing falls through, it kind of combines with all of this.
Option A sounds like a cop-out. Option B sounds like committing but could possibly get it wrong. Let's go option B.
My favourite thing about Ben is he is always the most prepared person you have ever met. Whenever we film anything, whenever we do any events, any talks, he has prepared religiously for days, weeks, months ahead of time. Put him in a video like this.
Drives him absolutely up the Fijian wall.
Right, Mike.
Yeah, mate.
I need you to try this fish and see if it's cured for me.
How will I tell? In 24 hours?
We'll give it 24 hours and see how you feel.
All in.
It tastes amazing.
That is spectacular.
What I do know about Peruvian ceviche is the length of time and the amount of acid will change, and of course the proteins in the fish, the kind of, the bounce of the proteins. I feel like this would benefit from another hour or 2 of sitting there doing its thing.
We could even leave it overnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
However, today we're just going to serve it up because the flavours are incredible and it's already got some of that curing
bounce.
texture. And I'm just going to whack it on top. Garnish with some nice pretty leaves on top. Fiji as an archipelago surrounded by the sea, so a little bit of sea salt as well. I already know how that tastes and I'm excited for it. What's in the oven? Not a clue.
If you're enjoying this, there are some small things you can do that make a big difference to us. Like the video. Subscribe if you aren't. Click the notification bell and select all. Thanks.
There we go. Golden in places.
Fingered everywhere.
Well, I think it's
Yeah,
quite.
finger it some more.
I think it's quite dense.
Yeah.
And I'm worried it's stuck a bit. But hey, we'll let's get some sexies.
If you're loving the sound of this, you can check it out on our brand new sorted food tab on Sidekick. Scan the QR code now or click the link in the description box below.
Boys, I think you've done a fantastic job. Would you like to see what you were aiming for with the kokoda?
I'm already going to say I think it's probably just served in a bowl, more like ceviche rather than a shell.
Oh, so it's through. Okay.
So white fish, so we definitely blended the cilantro in and got more of a green colour. And then the salsa kind of thing on the side.
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Right, let's try it.
Cheers.
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 Oh,
Oh, yeah.
hello.
That's superb.
I was not expecting that little kick.
Isn't that wonderful?
Do you know what?
Zing.
The fattiness from the coconut milk.
Yeah, the
Makes
creaminess.
it makes such a difference. That's delicious.
I think in hindsight, if you were only sort of marinating, curing it for the hour that we did, maybe cut the fish a bit smaller.
Right.
I'm chuffed with
What
that.
is this going to taste like? That is the question.
This
on
is
it.
more intriguing. Should we cut the slice out?
Oh, that looks great.
good. Oh, that does look good.
I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it does look good.
So in all honesty, Kush really struggled to find recipes for Vaka Lava Lava. It's not the most popular of dishes in Fiji, but sounded really interesting.
You just liked the sound of it.
Yeah. So he found one of the easiest recipes that we could. Therefore, finding a photo that will be similar is also an interesting process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty dense. You can still see some sort of individual elements
we could
of
have
the root.
gone for a bit more height, but
There's
I
different
think...
ways to top it as well. You can add more condensed milk or cream, lime zest.
Oh, I'm excited.
Grab a finger.
Oh, it smells fantastic.
It's like coconut cake, but with more.
It's macaroons
Yeah.
with added body.
Yeah.
What I would say is I think the cassava's kind of cooked out and become almost mashed root, like a mashed potato, but the crunch is still there from the coconut.
I love the crispy top. That gives you the best texture.
That is so
ever.
good. I'm going back for
Yeah,
another
it's
slice.
Very
some more.
Moorish.
Well, boys, we think you've done a great job, but obviously we
It's
don't
not up to
know.
us.
So it's over to you in the comments down below. Let us know, how did the guys get on with their kokoda and Vaka Lava Lava? I wanted to say that one more time.
Oh, Vaka Lava Lava.
Yeah.
Plus, shall we see where we're going next?
Ooh.
G.
G.
Time for the guz.
Grrr.
There's lots to choose from here. It's only a couple of spin again. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?
Come on. Grenada.
Great place, great dish. That's
Gabon.
what we're after.
Greece. Guyana.
Guyana.
I don't even know where that is. There. I think we'll need some help with this one. Comment down below.